What is up guys, Bulbarips here, back at it again with another video. This is part 5 of my National Pokédex Binder Progress video series. So it's been a while since the last part, because I mentioned in the last part it's going to be a while now for me to put these videos out, because I'm going to be collecting the cards I need for my Pokédex binder per set. So it's going to be a little uh, time consuming to track down all the cards I need. But I managed to do so during the week that I didn't post any new updates. So I actually managed to add about almost 200 cards to the binder, which I feel like deserves a update. So here I am, part 5. So yeah, I added a bunch of cards from different regions. Kalos, I finally have Kalos cards, unlike before where I had zero Kalos cards. Yeah, so I basically am caught up with all of the cards I could possibly get from the currently released Scarlet and Violet sets, because as I've mentioned, I'm only collecting cards in the current era, meaning cards with the gray borders. So apart from that, obviously I'm only collecting commons, uncommons, and holos, no ultra rares or anything like that. And I'm only collecting one card each for every Pokemon in their national dex order. So if there's a Pokemon that has an alternate form or forms, I'm not gonna collect the alternate forms anymore since they share the same dex number anyway. So just one card each for every Pokemon. So those are the rules. If this is the first part that you're watching and you're not familiar with how I'm going about building the binder, then those are my rules. So yeah, as I've said, I've caught up with all the cards I can possibly get for the current era sets released so far. So basically, after this, it's just a waiting game now for me, where I'm gonna be waiting for the new sets to come out, see the cards that I can get from the new sets. Twilight Masquerade being the first one, which will be coming out next month. So yeah, I already listed the cards I need from Twilight Masquerade, at least the ones revealed so far, and I've already reached up to 50 cards that I need. So that's pretty good. Adding 50 plus cards will always be good because it crosses off a lot of Pokemon that I need to add to the binder. Anyway, so I'm going to be showing you guys my progress so far. I would say I'm about 60% complete. So that's pretty good. I think I have like 600 plus cards right now. So I'm very happy with the progress so far. So let's go cut to the binders and I'll show you guys what I have. Okay, so this is binder number 1. So we're starting off with Kanto. So as I've mentioned, I'm only collecting commons, uncommons, and holos, so no ultra rares. That's why you didn't see any of the final evolutions of the starters. Arbok EX I was able to replace with a regular card, which is good. So hopefully we get to see all the other ones replaced, like these two also, Ninetales and Wigglytuff. I used to have the EX cards for those, but I had to take them out because I'm really going all in with only bulk. Alakazam, there's going to be one in Twilight Masquerade, so can't wait for that. No Golem yet. Kangaskhan, I was able to replace the EX. Zapdos, there's going to be one in Twilight Masquerade, so hopefully we get that. It'll go nicely with the Articuno and Moltres, since all three of them will become holos. And then there's no Mew yet, no Mew regular card yet. So what I also did, by the way, is that I separated them per region now. So I'm not gonna put them in the binder like just as is. I used to plan to put Chikorita here after Mew, but I decided to keep these two spots empty and then start Gen 2 here. So this is Gen 2 now, Johto. I didn't really add too many new cards in the Johto section, but I pretty much have, like I said, all of them so far. So it's just a waiting game now for the new sets to come out, see what cards I can cross off. I'm pretty sure Spinarak and Ariados will be in Twilight Masquerade, so at least that's 2 new cards to add to Johto. So again, these are all new era cards, current era cards, gray borders. Yeah, so I think Celebi will go here, and then we'll leave all of this empty, and then Hoenn will start here. So no regular cards for the starters yet for Hoenn. Can't wait for those to be made eventually. We're basically at the mercy of Pokemon at this point. So I don't know. I subjected myself to only collecting gray border current era cards. I mean, I wanted it to be consistent. I didn't want any yellow border cards to kind of ruin the whole aesthetic of it. Plus, the artwork of the current cards is top notch, man. So I feel like it's gonna be worth the wait, waiting for some of the cards to be made that don't have some of the Pokemon to be made into cards. So, yeah. All right, so that's binder number 1. We're ending with Milotic here. So let's go to binder number 2 now. Okay, this is binder number 2. So continuing with Hoenn. Let me just get the page. All right. So not much left for Hoenn here. This is the last page for Hoenn. So Deoxys is the last Hoenn Pokemon, leaving these 2 blank and then starting with Sinnoh here. So again, I did not get the Torterra EX because it's an EX. Hopefully they make a normal version soon. So yeah, again, I think it'll be worth it just collecting gray border cards exclusively. The consistency will look really nice. And yeah, it makes it worthwhile actually waiting for the ones that aren't accounted for yet in the current era of cards, gray borders, because then it makes completing the set worthwhile, since we actually have to wait for some of the Pokemon that don't have cards yet in the current era. Okay, so this one, I made an exception for this one. Victini is supposed to go here, but since Victini, for some reason, it still bothers me to this day. Victini is the first Pokemon in the Gen 5 list of the National Pokédex. So Victini and then Snivy is after Victini. But I didn't want to do that because it'll end up breaking up the starter page. So I decided to put Victini along with Gen 4. I mean, it's taking up the last spot anyway, so I don't think it's gonna bother me too much. So yeah. Gen 5 I actually added a bunch of cards from, which is good because it's I think the second, if not the generation with the most Pokemon introduced. I think so. I'm not sure with that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I added a bunch of Gen 5 cards in the past week. Obviously, we're still missing quite a bunch, but those cards are either in Twilight Masquerade or don't exist yet. So at least we have a good number. So having been able to add 200 plus cards, I think deserved a update video. So that's why I'm making this video right now. So probably my next update will be if I manage to complete all the cards I need for Twilight Masquerade. So yeah, and by the way, be sure to stay tuned for Twilight Masquerade openings. We'll definitely be posting some openings of that set, like we did for Temporal Forces. All right, so this is where Gen 6 starts. I think after Keldeo, we have Meloetta and Genesect here, and then we're leaving all of these blank. So Gen 6 starts here. So far we only have Froakie. We have this whole page completed, which is good. So I used to not have any Gen 6 cards in the previous parts, if you guys have been watching. But now I finally do, so happy with that. All right, that's binder number 2, and let's go to the final binder, binder number 3. Okay, we have binder number 3, continuation of Kalos. Let me just get the page. And yeah, this is where Kalos ends with Volcanion, and we have Alola here. Alola, I was able to add a good number of cards as well. I completely forgot that this Pokemon existed. Minior. Whoa, we have a whole lot of nothing here. I think this is where we're gonna put the legendaries, the Ultra Beasts. Those are actually the ones I'm worried about the most because I don't know. I'm not gonna be surprised if we don't see any Ultra Beast cards anytime soon. So yeah. Alright, this is the last Alola card, Melmetal. So this is where Galar starts. There's gonna be a Grookey line for Twilight Masquerade, which I'm very happy about. Grookey is my favorite out of the Galar starters. So this is now Gen 8 Galar region. But yeah, as I've been saying, I'm worried that we're not gonna be getting any Ultra Beast cards soon. So yeah. Also, speaking of Gen 8, I'm also worried about some of the Legends Arceus cards. You know, like the Hisuian forms. No, not forms, evolutions. Like Sneasler, Overquill. I don't think we're going to be seeing those cards anytime soon. We have another blank page here. Oh yeah, there we go. So we have Paldea. Paldea, I actually have all of the cards that I can get so far. So the only ones I don't have are the ones in Twilight Masquerade and the ones that don't have cards yet. So Paldea is the one that realistically we can actually complete. So yeah, it's filled up. So very nice looking. I mean, this is the era of the current era is Gen 9. So obviously we're gonna be completing Gen 9 quite quickly compared to the other regions. And yeah, so I have until Miraidon. So I think after Miraidon is Walking Wake, Iron Leaves, and then the rest. All of those will be in Twilight Masquerade. And then I think only a few don't have cards yet, like um, Archaludon, Terapagos, to name a few. So yeah, gonna have to wait for those. But that's it. That's all I have so far. Let's go back to our first setup. Okay, so that's the progress I have so far with my National Pokédex binder. Like I said, I think I added about 200 or so cards, um, which brings me to about 60% complete. Last time I counted all of them, all the ones I have, I counted around 600 plus cards. So out of 1,025, that's pretty good already. Again, like I mentioned, I'm only waiting for new sets to come out now since I'm all caught up with all the cards I can possibly get from the previous sets, the ones that are currently out. So yeah, can't wait for Twilight Masquerade. Like I mentioned, I think I have about 50 cards that I already need from that set that I listed down, so very excited to get those. I will be opening up some Twilight Masquerade when it comes out soon, so hopefully we get a bunch of the cards that we need through our openings. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'll also be going to a Pokemon convention here in the Philippines um, in June, actually June 1st, which is a good way to start the month. So I might do a vlog of my time there at the convention. So I don't know. There's gonna be vendors out there selling cards, so hopefully maybe we can do a hunt of some cards we need. Um, yeah, I mean, I'll see. I'll see. So those are basically just stuff that I'm throwing out of possible future videos in the future, future videos in the future. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this part. I know it's been a week since the last one. As I mentioned, this will take a while since this is a pretty lengthy series to as expected since there's a lot of Pokemon. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next part of my National Pokédex Binder Progress video series. Thanks for watching.